Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Sarah, your host for today.
And I'm Bill, your co-host. We're so excited to have you with us.
That's right, Bill. Today we're diving into a super important topic, something that can truly change how you communicate in English.
Absolutely. Today, we're talking about how to think quickly in English. Whether you're in a conversation, at work, or even just trying to express your thoughts, thinking quickly can make all the difference.
Exactly. But don't worry, we're here to guide you through it. We'll be sharing practical techniques, real-life examples, and even some fun exercises to help you train your mind.
And this isn't just about learning new words. It's about transforming the way you use English in real time. You'll learn how to respond faster, express yourself clearly, and feel more confident.
So, whether you're a beginner, an intermediate learner, or even advanced, this episode will have something for you.
And if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments. We love hearing from you.
That's right. So, let's get started. Let's learn how to think quick. So, Bill, let's start with a big question. Why is thinking quickly in English so important?
Great question, Sarah. Thinking quickly in English is like having a superpower. It helps you respond naturally in conversations without freezing or overthinking.
Absolutely. Imagine you're talking to someone and you don't have to pause or translate in your mind, you just speak. That's the power of thinking quickly in English.
Yes, and it's not just about speed. It's also about confidence. When you can think quickly, you feel more confident because you know you can handle any conversation.
Right. And it's useful in so many situations, like making new friends, talking to colleagues, or even during a job interview.
Exactly. Plus, it makes learning English more fun because you're not just memorizing words, you're actually using them without hesitation.
And the best part? Anyone can learn to think quickly in English with the right techniques, which we'll be sharing soon.
That's right. So, now that we know why it's important, let's explore how to develop this skill.
All right, Bill. Now that we understand why thinking quickly is so important, let's talk about the mindset. What does having the right mindset mean for thinking quickly in English?
Great question, Sarah. The right mindset is really about being flexible and open. Instead of worrying about making mistakes, you focus on communicating. It's okay if you're not perfect. The goal is to keep the conversation flowing.
Yes, I often see learners get stuck because they're afraid of saying the wrong word or making grammar errors. That fear slows them down.
Exactly. Another big challenge is the habit of translating from your native language to English in your head. That can really slow down your response time.
So true. When you translate, it's like you have two conversations going on at once, one in your language and one in English. That's exhausting.
Right. Instead, we want to train your brain to think directly in English. That might feel strange at first, but with practice, it becomes natural.
I also think having patience with yourself is part of the mindset. Quick thinking doesn't happen overnight. It's a skill you build step by step.
Absolutely. And embracing mistakes as part of learning helps you stay relaxed and confident. The more relaxed you are, the faster your brain works.
So, to sum up, the mindset for thinking quickly in English includes being flexible, avoiding translation, being patient, and welcoming mistakes.
Perfect summary, Sarah. Now that we've talked about mindset, let's move on to some practical techniques you can use to train your brain to think faster in English.
All right, Bill. Now that we've covered mindset, let's get into some practical techniques that our listeners can use to think quickly in English.
Sounds great, Sarah. One of my favorites is the one-man team. Quick Response Challenge. It's a fun way to train your brain to answer questions or respond to prompts quickly without overthinking.
That sounds interesting. How does it work?
Well, you can practice this alone or with a partner. Someone asks you a simple question, and you try to answer immediately. No long pauses. For example, if I say, "What's your favorite food?" you answer right away, "Pizza," or "I love sushi."
Nice. That really pushes you to think fast. What's another technique?
Another great method is the word association technique. You pick a word and then quickly think of related words. For example, if I say beach, you might think sand, ocean, sun, waves, and so on.
Oh, I've tried this before. It helps you build connections between words in your brain, which makes it easier to speak quickly.
Exactly. And it also helps increase your vocabulary naturally. Now, here's a fun one. Storytelling practice. You create short, simple stories on the spot using the words or ideas you know.
That sounds challenging. Can you give an example?
Sure. Let's say the words are cat, park, rain. You could say, "Yesterday, my cat and I went to the park, but it started to rain, so we ran home quickly."
That's great. It forces you to organize your thoughts quickly and practice speaking fluently.
Definitely. And the more you practice these techniques daily, the faster your brain will get at thinking in English.
Do you have any tips on how often listeners should practice?
Even just 10 to 15 minutes every day can make a huge difference. Consistency is key.
Awesome. These techniques sound doable and fun. I'm excited to try them out.
Me too. Remember, it's all about training your brain, just like exercising a muscle.
Okay, Bill. Now it's time to see these quick thinking skills in action. Let's try 2 real-life scenarios to show how thinking quickly in English helps.
Great idea, Sarah. Let's start with a simple situation. Ordering coffee at a cafe.
Sounds good. I'll be the customer, and you'll be the Hi, can I get a medium latte, please?
Of course. Would you like any flavors added? Vanilla, caramel, or hazelnut?
Vanilla sounds great. And can I have it with almond milk?
Absolutely. Anything else?
No, that's all, thanks.
Your total is $4.50. Please pull forward to the Great! See how we kept the conversation natural and smooth without long pauses?
Yes, that quick thinking really helps you sound confident and friendly.
Now, let's try a more formal situation. A job interview.
Okay, I'll be the interviewer, and you're... Can you tell me about a challenge you faced at work and how you handled it?
Sure. In my last job, we had a tight deadline on a project. I organized daily meetings with the team to track progress and solve problems quickly. This helped us finish on time and meet our goals.
That's impressive. How do you handle stressful situations?
I stay calm by focusing on solutions, prioritizing tasks, and asking for help when needed. I believe staying positive is key.
Excellent answers, Bill. Quick thinking helped you respond clearly and confidently.
Exactly. Practicing these scenarios helps prepare you for real conversations where you need to think fast.
So, listeners, try practicing with friends or even by yourself. Role-play common situations to boost your quick thinking skills. Now, Bill, we've talked about why quick thinking is important, the right mindset, techniques, and real-life examples. What about training your mind daily? How can our listeners practice every day?
Great question, Sarah. Daily practice is the key to making quick thinking in English a habit. One simple way is using sticks to flashcards with words or questions. You look at the card and quickly say the word or answer the question aloud.
That's a great tip. I also recommend practicing with a friend or language partner. Try having quick, timed conversations on different topics. It's like a mini game.
Yes. Another fun way is recording yourself. Talk about your day, your plans, or anything simple. Then listen back and notice where you hesitated or paused. Over time, you'll see your progress.
And don't forget, even short sessions, like 10 minutes a day, can make a big difference if you're consistent.
Exactly. The more you train your brain, the easier it becomes to think and respond quickly in English.
So, listeners, pick one or two of these exercises and make them part of your daily routine. Your brain will thank you. Bill, thinking quickly in English is great, but sometimes people get nervous or feel pressured, especially in important conversations. What tips can we share to help them stay calm?
That's a really important point, Sarah. Staying calm helps your brain work better and think faster. One simple tip is to take a deep breath before speaking. It helps slow down your heart and clear your mind.
Yes, deep breathing is so powerful. Another tip is to remind yourself that it's okay to pause briefly. You don't need to rush every single word.
Absolutely. Pausing for a second or two gives you time to gather your thoughts and speak clearly without feeling rushed.
And remember, everyone makes mistakes. The key is to keep going and not get stuck on one word or phrase.
Exactly. The more relaxed you are, the easier it is to think quickly and communicate confidently.
Before we wrap up, Bill, let's take a moment to answer some questions from our listeners about thinking quickly in English.
Great idea, Sarah. I love hearing from our audience. Here's a question from Maria. How can I stop translating in my head and start thinking directly in English?
That's a fantastic question, Maria. One way is to immerse yourself in English as much as possible, like watching movies, listening to podcasts, or reading books in English. The more you surround yourself with the language, the easier it becomes to think in it.
Also, try practicing speaking with simple sentences and phrases. The goal is to build muscle memory so your brain reacts automatically without translating.
Here's another question from Ahmed. What should I do if I forget a word during a conversation?
Great question. If you forget a word, don't panic. Try describing the word or using a synonym. For example, if you forget the word bicycle, you can say, the two-wheeled vehicle I ride.
That's right. It keeps the conversation going smoothly and shows you're resourceful.
Thanks to everyone who sent in questions. Keep them coming. We love helping you on your English learning journey.
Wow, Bill, what a great discussion today. We've covered so much about thinking quickly in English, from why it's important to practical tips and real-life examples.
Absolutely, Sarah. And remember, listeners, thinking quickly is a skill you can build with practice and patience. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. They're part of the learning process.
Exactly. Keep practicing daily, stay relaxed, and use the techniques we shared. Soon, you'll notice yourself responding faster and more confidently.
And if you ever feel stuck, just take a deep breath and remind yourself that every conversation is a step forward.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you found this episode helpful.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the podcast with friends who want to improve their English.
See you next time on the English Learning Podcast.
Take care, everyone.